Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Gems of Knowledge. So I am here with another video on the topic physical and chemical changes from the chapter Is Matter Around Us Pure? Okay, so in today's video we are going to study about the physical and chemical changes which is taking place. How can we identify whether it is a chemical change or a physical change? So before starting with the video, make sure to subscribe to my channel and also click the bell button to get the notification as soon as I post my new videos. So let's start with the video. So the first thing here we need to study is about the physical change. So what is physical change? The interconversion of state is a physical change. Okay, the state which can be interchanged directly, that is from solid to liquid or liquid to gas or any other state. Okay, that is nothing but a physical change, because this changes occurs without a change in composition and no change in the chemical nature of the substance. So this changes, it is a physical change. It is just because whatever the composition is present into that material, it will be as it is. Okay, and there will be no chemical change of the substance. No chemical nature of the substance will be changed. Okay, here the matter changes form but not the chemical identity. Okay, here only the matter will changes its form, that is from solid to liquid or from liquid to gas, whatever it is, it will just change its form but not its chemical identity. Okay, then melting, boiling, chopping, etc. constitute the physical changes. So all these words are related to the physical changes. Okay, next we need to study about the chemical changes. So what is chemical changes? During this process, one substance reacts with another to undergo a change in the chemical composition. So in the chemical change, what happens is, in this process, the one substance will react with another substance and we will get a third substance here. Okay, that is a chemical change. Chemical composition will be changed. Chemical change brings change in the chemical properties of matter and we get a new substance. Yes, exactly what I said you here. That is, it will bring the changes into the chemical properties and we will get the third substance. A new substance will be introduced. This is also called as a chemical reaction. The chemical change is also called as a chemical reaction. Combustion, rotting, rusting, digestion, etc. constitute the chemical change. So these things show us the chemical change. So the next thing what we need to study is about the type of pure substances. Okay, so there are two types of pure substances. One is element and the other is compounds. So what is this elements? Robert Boyle was the first scientist to use the term element in 1661. So firstly this elements was named by Robert Boyle. Antoine Laurent Lavoisier was the first to establish an experimentally useful definition of an element. So this was the person who has described who has exactly given the definition of the element. So what is element? According to this person, that is Antoine Laurent Lavoisier, okay, what he has given, what he has defined the element as, element is a basic form of matter. It is nothing but a basic form of matter that cannot be broken down into simple substances by chemical reactions. So this is a simple basic form in the matter which cannot be broken down. Again, it cannot be broken down into simple substances by any chemical processes or any of the reactions. Then elements are of three types. So the elements are of three types. First is metals, second one is non-metal, and the third one is metalloids. Now we are going to study the properties of metals, non-metals as well as metalloids. First we will see what are the properties of this metals. Okay, so as you know, the metals will having the luster. Luster is nothing but it is shine. They have silvery gray or golden yellow color. All the metals we see is similar to this colors, that is silver grayish color or either it will be golden yellow color. Okay, you have seen iron, here you have seen gold related to this. All those are nothing but the metals. They conduct heat and electricity. Yes, metals are nothing but the good conductors of heat and electricity. They are ductile. Ductile in the sense they can be drawn into wires. If you beat the sheet of any metal, what happens is you can make it into the wires. Yes, so the next property here is they are malleable. It means they can, if the metals are hammered, they can be formed into the thin sheets. Okay, malleability is nothing but the property of forming into thin sheets. Next property is they are sonorous. It means makes ringing sound when we hit them. It can make the ringing sound when we hit them. You have observed the school bells. When we hit them, it makes sound. That is nothing but the property of metal, that is sonorosity. Okay, then examples. The examples of metals are here: gold, silver, copper, iron, sodium, potassium, etc. All these are nothing but the metals. Then here one exception is there, that is nothing but mercury. Mercury is the only metal that is liquid at room temperature. We have generally seen all the metals as hard materials, okay, but the mercury is such a metal which is liquid when it is at room temperature. Next we need to learn the properties of non-metals. So what are the properties of non-metals? Non-metals, they display variety of colors. Okay, so these are displaying the variety of colors, whereas the metals were only having two colors, that is silvery grey or golden yellow color. But in case of non-metals, it displays variety of colors. Then they are poor conductor of heat and electricity. Okay, metals, non-metals are nothing but the poor conductor of heat and electricity. They cannot conduct heat as well as electricity. They are non-lustrous. They are non-lustrous means they do not shine. Non-sonorous, it means they do not make noise, as well as they are not malleable. It means they do not form into thin sheets. They do not possess the property of malleability or ductility. Not even the property of malleability as well as the property of ductility. They cannot be formed into wires also. Here the examples are hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, iodine, carbon, sulfur, phosphorus, etc. So all these are the examples for non-metals. Then the next one here is properties of metalloids. So what are metalloids? Metalloids are the elements which show some properties of metals and some properties of non-metals. So directly we can say metalloids are the metals. Metalloids are the substance which lies between metals as well as non-metals. They also show the property of metals as well as they show the property of non-metals. So examples here are boron, silicon, germanium, etc. Okay. Next comes, we need to study about the compounds. So what is a compound? A substance which is composed of two or more elements chemically combined together in a fixed ratio. So when two or more substances, when they are combined in a fixed ratio, like we see water molecule, we write it as H2O. It means two molecules of hydrogen, whereas two atom of hydrogen as well as one atom of oxygen is combined to make water. Okay, so that is nothing but it is in a fixed ratio. We need two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen, that is 2:1 ratio. So only we say that when it is chemically combined together in a fixed ratio, then only it is called as compounds. Okay, so you can see the example here: water, CO2, sugar, salt, iron sulfide, etc. Okay. So the next thing what you need to study here is this difference between the mixtures and the compounds, which is present on page number 26 of your NCERT textbook. So you can see the difference here. Elements or compounds just mix together to form a mixture and no new compound is formed. So in case of mixture, what happens is either element or compound, they just mix together, okay, to form a mixture and no new compound is formed. There is no composition of any new compound. But here in case what happens is elements react to form a new compound. Here we get a new compound. Next, a mixture has a variable composition. So there is no fixed composition here. The composition may be varied. Okay, then the composition of each new substance is always fixed. So as I told you the example of water here, hydrogen, we need hydrogen 2 atoms and oxygen 1 atom. It means it needs the its composition is nothing but fixed here. But here there is no as such variable composition. Okay. Then a mixture shows the property of the constituent substances. So the mixture, what does it does? Whatever the properties, whatever the mixtures we are mixing, it shows the property of all those things. But here what happens? A new substance has totally different properties. When the two elements are combined here, what happens is we get a totally new substance, and that new substance will be having some new properties. Whereas here what happens is it shows the property of the old compounds. Okay. Then the constituents can be separated fairly easily by physical methods. So in case of mixtures, we can separate the particles by physical methods. But whereas in this case, the constituents can be separated only by chemical or electrochemical reactions. Either chemically we can treat them and we can separate them, or by using electrochemical reactions. By providing electricity, we can separate them. Okay. So that's all for today. I hope everything is cleared for you. Okay. So based on these things, we'll just see few question answers which are related to this here. So depending on the learned video today, so let us solve some of the questions which are present on page number 24 of your textbook. Okay. So the question is, classify the following as chemical or physical change. Okay. So here few questions have been given, such as cutting of trees, melting of butter in a pan, rusting of almira, and boiling of water to form steam. So we just have to identify whether it is a physical change or a chemical change. So according to the learned definitions of physical change as well as chemical change, we can see here cutting of tree is nothing but a physical change. Melting of butter in a pan is also a physical change, because these are physical change because we can change their state back. Okay, you can see there cutting of trees. When we cut a tree can be grown again. It can grow again. Similarly, melting of butter in a pan. If we melt the butter into a pan, it can be freezed again and it can be into a solid form again. So we can reverse the form. So we can say that it is a physical change. Rusting of almira. So here you can see when the almira is rusted, we cannot change it into the pure form. It is completely damaged piece. So that is what it will change its chemical composition there. So we can say it is a chemical change. Then the last one here is boiling of water to form steam. So if the water is boiled to form a steam, that is a physical change, because we can change steam into water again. When you see when we cover a lid onto the boiling water, you can see a steam is not passed out. Okay, what happens is it will form the water droplets onto the plate which we are keeping above that boiling water. So it can be reversed. So this is nothing but a physical change. Then the next one here is passing of electric current through water and the water breaking down into hydrogen and oxygen gases. So this is nothing but passing of electricity and changing the chemical composition of the water. Okay, here the water is break down into its components, that is hydrogen and water. This is nothing but a chemical change. Then next one is dissolving common salt in water. This is nothing but a physical change, dissolving common salt. So we can even take out the common salt by the process of evaporation, where you have studied this in my earlier videos. Okay, then making a fruit salad with raw fruits. Okay, this is also a physical change. Whereas burning of paper and wood is nothing but a chemical change, because after burning a new product will be formed, that is ash will be formed. After burning the paper we get ashes. This is nothing but a chemical change. So the next question here is, try segregating the things around you as pure substances or mixtures. So we have to use our surrounding things and we have to try to segregate them into the pure substances as well as mixtures. So into the pure substances we get drinking water, gold, sugar, oxygen, etc. These are nothing but the pure substances, whereas in case of mixture comes air, soil, cool drink, etc. Because in air there are lots of gases mixed. Similarly in soil, cool drink, there are lots of things mixed. It is nothing but called as mixtures. So that's all for today. If you are having any doubts regarding this, you can comment me down below and I'll be back with new video. Till then, stay safe and stay connected. Thank you.